Hey everyone, welcome back to Hazardous Opinions. Today, Ashley and I will each be discussing 5 of our favorite underrated Halloween movies we watch or have been starting to watch every year during spooky season. So, we will have 10 recommendations for you guys in total. Before we get to that, a few programming reminders. This episode will be the 3rd out of 5 episodes for the month of October we have for you guys. Next up will be our full episode on VHS 2012. A big way you guys can help us is by following us and giving us 5 stars wherever you get your podcasts. Also, reach out to us with anything movies at hazardousopinionspod@gmail.com or on socials like Instagram at hazardousopinionspod and chat with us on Discord. Also, really helps if you just hit that follow button for us on wherever you get your podcasts. We really appreciate all of you and your support. Now for our 10 Halloween movies. On to Ashley.
Okay, so to start out, I will be talking about one of my favorite movies ever, Idle Hands from 1999. It was directed by Rodman Flender. I didn't really recognize anything else he's done aside from a few episodes of TV here and there. But the cast, though, starring Devon Sawa, who's one of my favorite actors from like Casper, Alex from Final Destination, SLC Punk 1 and 2, anything he's in is great. Seth Green and Eldon Henson play his friends, and Jessica Alba, and obviously the hen that plays Thing in Addams Family. So Idle Hands is about Anton Tobias, who is like this very stereotypical lazy stoner type who literally just likes to smoke weed and hang out with his friends, Mick and Penub, played by Seth Green and Eldon Henson, and swoon over his across the street neighbor Molly, played by Jessica Alba. But anyways, Anton kills both of his parents and then his 2 best friends, but his friends come back from the dead and they find out that Anton's hand is possessed. So they sever it, and the hand itself goes on like a killing spree in the town. So it's them trying to track it down, and yeah. So it's just like filled with like their stoner shenanigans, and Devon Sawa doesn't have a hand. But I know how that sounds, but it's seriously so good. And it just has the Halloween vibe, and whether you've seen it before or you haven't seen it, you're in for an absurd ride. And last year we had a Friday 13th Halloween party at my friend's house, and I was in charge of picking movies, and I put this on, and a lot of my friends had not seen it, but they all loved it. And even if they weren't paying attention to it, anytime they looked at the screen, there's something like out there was happening. So if you're looking for like a fun Halloween party flick, this is the one I promise, because like I said, regardless if people are paying attention or not, anytime you look at the screen, it's gold. And yeah, it's one of my, not even just one of my favorite Halloween movies, but just one of my favorite movies in general. And yeah, you can rent it on Amazon or YouTube or Apple TV. It's not streaming anywhere, sorry.
Way to go. Yeah, nice pick. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm really happy I got to hear your further explanation of the plot instead of reading it on Wikipedia or Googling.
I figured that was like it's not like a normal like teen slasher. Like it's just like the hen that's like the killer. Yeah, the first time I seen this was probably close to like 10 years ago or so. And I was like, why have I not grown up watching this? Because it's so perfect. And like it has one of the best soundtracks of any movie that I've like ever seen. The Offspring, one of my favorite bands, plays at their Halloween dance. They're doing covers of like Rancid, Sublime, The Ramones, or songs by Rob Zombie in here.
Is the dance like a regular high school prom dance or like a winter formal or something like that?
Halloween costume.
Okay. A Halloween dance at the
high school, because that's where the climax. Wait, should I say that? Climax of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the climax of the movie happens, because they figure that's where all the teenagers are all going to be at the school. So they know that's where the hand is going.
Oh, okay. So that's where things kind of meet up.
Yes.
All
and
right.
all while The Offspring is playing.
I love when a climax happens at a dance.
Same.
Yeah, honestly, one movie that came right to mind was Death Note on Netflix, the Netflix original live action.
Never seen.
Okay, I know Death Note fans hated it, so.
That's Alex Wolff, though.
But hey, yeah, I was just about to say I love Alex Wolff, so you know.
But yeah, and just like the colors of the movie, it's so. It's not super vibrant. It's just so colorful, like every scene.
And did you say it was like fall feeling, especially with like the Halloween?
Very fall feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, just like the overall feel of it, I really love. It just puts you in like the spooky mood, and yeah, it's just like, and you know I love like stoner comedy, so the dialogue in there is just so funny.
Especially after us covering an awesome movie like
Yeah,
American Ultra,
yeah.
very good stoner comedy. Yeah,
It's just a classic, and it never ever gets old. And I hope more people watch it and put it in their yearly rotation around this time.
yeah, I'm gonna need to. Honestly,
I'll lend
like,
you the Blu-ray.
yes, please, because I think why I haven't watched it yet after you recommending it to me almost, I could say 1,000 times maybe since our friendship, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I haven't been able to find it on a streamer and I feel bad. I'm not trying to make you think he's pushing it off or something like that.
It really hasn't been. It was streaming briefly on something, then they took it off, and now it's like not on anything. But
Yeah.
it's less than $4 to rent. So,
Perfect.
but yeah, I think that's all I have on
Awesome.
my first recommendation.
Okay. Good first for Halloween. Okay. Yeah. Especially hand killing people. It's really cool too. I was almost wondering if the hand was the same hand from Adam's Family. Perfect. That's perfect.
It's on something else too.
Really?
Yeah. I can't.
In
It's
the
definitely
scenes.
something else aside from those two, but
Yeah. I can't remember either.
eh.
Dang it. Okay. So for you guys, I got Hell House LLC from 2015. This is written and directed by Stephen Cognetti, also involved in the other 3 sequels. And the cinematographer is Brian C. Harnick. And I have not seen any other works from this cinematographer, but figured in all 5 of my movies that I'll do, I'll mention cinematographers because both you and I love cinematography, and maybe people will be like, oh, okay, this is why this movie kind of looks similar to this movie, you know, stuff like people that don't look at it the way we do, we're obsessive about it. We're geeks about it, and that's all right. We love it. But the plot of the film, this is shot as a documentary. It follows a group of Halloween haunted house creators as they prepare for the 2009 opening of their popular haunted attraction, Hell House. Tragedy strikes on opening night when an unknown malfunction causes the death of 15 tour goers and staff. The film reveals the lead up to the tragedy and what really went wrong that night, and the details of which have remained a mystery to the public. It is almost like your run-of-the-mill found footage, but trust me when I say when you are going through it and watching it, you'll be like, okay, all right, this is different, thankfully. This is the first of 2 man-made haunted house films that I'll talk about today. The difference between the 2 is one is supernatural and the other is a slasher. Oh my gosh, Ashlee, what you got? What you got?
One's found footage.
That too. You did point that out to me right before we started. I really wanted to draw attention to Hell House LLC to shout out my buddy Brennan, because we were 2 huge horror movie fans that love the festivities and everything spooky. We're obsessed with finding these Halloween traditional movies that we can watch together every year. And we just happened to stumble upon this, which was amazing, especially for me and me furthering my movie knowledge and my love and passion for it, finding new little movies like this. It was really enlightening if I can come up with a good word to sum it up. I don't know. That sounded like a little monk of me, but you guys just have to experience this. It really feels like an awesome team experience in small horror movie making. And it's reminding me of many other hidden gems in the world of film. Hell House LLC is available to stream on Amazon Prime, Shudder, AMC, and Tubi, or it's available to rent on YouTube, Apple TV Plus, etc. So you have multiple streaming options for this one, guys. And if you can brave it, do it. It's really worth it, honestly. And it does stand up on a rewatch too. But that's all I have for Hell House LLC. Ashlee, have you seen it?
I've seen it once,
No.
but I remembered I didn't really like it that much. But I don't know why.
Stab me in the heart. Are you kidding?
But I think I need to rewatch it because it was a long time ago.
I was gonna say, because like I feel like this one is right up your alley, and as I was talking about it, I totally don't blame you, but there was almost a blank stare in your eyes. I'm like, okay, maybe she hasn't seen this.
No, I did, but I think I need to rewatch it. It was like years ago when I watched.
First one is good. Brandon and I haven't checked out the sequels except for Hell House Origins. That's a Shudder original.
That one just came out, right?
That one's good. Do you think Ryan would watch it?
Yeah, if I tell him to.
Okay, does this have to be a date night between Ryan and I, and we kick you out?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay, perfect.
Yay.
All right. Hey.
Okay, I think for my next one, I am going to pick one from 2014, and it is What We Do in the Shadows. It is directed by Taika Waititi, who directed this, obviously, and he executively produced the series of the same name. And he also helped create and wrote every episode of the show Reservation Dogs, which is one of the most relatable shows to me, being as I grew up on the reservation. So it was really weird how he obviously didn't, but really captured the spirit of that in that show. But anyways, What We Do in the Shadows is like a mockumentary style movie where it follows Viago, played by Taika, Vladislav, Deacon, and Peter, who share a house in modern day New Zealand. And each vampire comes from what?
Before this movie, I checked out the series and I fell in love with the series. And I'm like, no way. Taika started this. Jermaine Clement. Like, I love those two. Oh, man. And they just make me laugh. I was thinking about scenes throughout the series.
It is so quotable.
It is.
And the show, too.
Oh, the show is amazing. Like, I'll say it. Hey, hazardous opinion here. I prefer this to The Office.
That's not that hot of a take.
Did we just become friends?
Best friends. Finally.
Oh my god.
We've been around each other long enough.
Okay, perfect. All right, it's official, guys.
But yeah, each vampire comes from a different era of time and like different background, and their ages range from like hundreds of years old to thousands of years old. And so it's like extremely funny to see them interact and see how they deal with like modern day situations. Like learning about the internet or trying to socialize and seeing them try to have like a nightlife. Obviously it has to be at night. The plot isn't very deep, but the dialogue and the one-liners and the situations they get themselves into is just like top tier, like humor. And yeah, you'll literally probably be like cackling throughout the whole entire movie. And it's not just vampires we see in the movie. We see some zombies, some werewolves, and yeah, and the effects and the makeup in this is like they're super well done. And in the show, I want to say they even went like up a notch in the series.
I think so too. Yeah, I feel like What We Do in the Shadows was kind of where Taika and Jermaine, it was kind of a beginning for them, I feel. And it was more of like an independent like New Zealand film at the time.
The movie?
And then it blew up. Yeah, the movie. Yeah, and then it blew up. So that's why They stepped up everything, thankfully.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to do the movie instead of the show, because I think most people know it's a show.
Yes.
And I don't think that many people know it started as a movie.
Exactly. Yep. You got to know the starting point.
I did want to add, it is rated R because the gore, there is a lot of gore, but it's comically done.
It is.
But there's a lot of it. And I have a hard time with that sometimes, so just a little warning. But it's done humorously.
Yes.
But yeah, Ryan absolutely loves this one too, and also a good Halloween party movie.
When a movie can be successful at a party, you know it's a good movie.
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
like you said for Idle Hands, when you threw it on, that's what I was going to add to that too. Just throwing it on during a party and some interesting scenes pop up and people tune in and tune out real simultaneously.
Real easy watch for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can rent it on Amazon or YouTube, and you can stream the series on Hulu.
Perfect. Yeah. And I know you and I need to watch the last 2 seasons of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
And thankfully it's ending, because good shows go out on top. Can't wait. The best scenes from the series that I always show people or I quote with people, especially, hey, my buddy Brennan again. Nandor is one of my favorite characters in anything ever. That actor is so good with the accent. Guillermo.
I love Guillermo too.
You idiots. Like, it's just, I don't know, just so different. Just the way you have The Office, where you have these eccentric characters that are extreme versions of regular people in The Office, right? Then with this, you add that element of they're vampires as well, and they've lived through so much, but it's a different comedy from The Office that kind of connects with me better. Like I said, hazardous, and people might be at my throat for it.
I never watched The Office. I felt like I couldn't really get into it, so.
Oofta. Okay, people are going to go after you more than me.
That's okay.
I'm going to direct them towards you.
I know you were, yeah, I know.
Okay.
So I was expecting it.
All right, so for my next recommendation, it would be the next man-made haunted house movie that I was talking about earlier with Hell House LLC, but this is Haunt from 2019. Written and directed by Brian Woods and Scott Beck. This is a directing duo that seems to pop up alongside each other almost 100% of the time when I look at their credits. Big credits to mention from them. They directed 65. It's a prehistoric futuristic action movie with Adam Driver that came out last year, I believe. And they also work on the new A24 horror film Heretic with Hugh Grant and Sophie Thatcher. So, really excited about that because I already like their work from this. Haven't seen 65, honestly. And I heard mostly negative reviews about that, unfortunately. Don't know why Adam Driver picked that project. And also, maybe the studio is interfering with these guys, I feel. Because, I mean, this movie just, like we're talking about, just underappreciated and barely ever found. Basically, nobody that I've ever talked to has seen this movie except for you. They also wrote 65, and they wrote The Boogeyman in 2023 that I actually enjoyed. It's a PG-13 movie, but I actually really enjoyed the design of the Boogeyman in the movie and everything. It actually kept me on my toes a bit. It's enjoyable. I didn't love it, but that's with Sophie Thatcher also. So it makes sense she's in Heretic now, which is a cool connection.
I was really scared you were going to say Boogeyman 2005.
No. I actually just rewatched the second one, the sequel to that.
Is that the one where they're in the hospital with the maggots?
That's the mental health hospital where, they're treating the young adults for.
Okay, I remember that one. I remember that one scene from that movie.
Yeah, one scene from there sticks in my head, and that's why I just had to rewatch it. It had been so long. It just, memories as a kid, it just stuck with me when I watched it on TV. They also helped write A Quiet Place with John Krasinski. So I also thought that was really fascinating to find out. I'm like, okay, they go from working on a little known horror movie like this one to a big blockbuster with a very well known name attached. It's just awesome. The cinematographer for Hunt was Ryan Samuel, if I pronounced that right. And I have not seen any of his work either, just like I talked about with the Hell House LLC cinematographer, but just wanted to mention him and get his name out there just in case anybody recognized it. The plot of this is on Halloween night, a group of friends enter a deadly and extreme haunted house. That's basically all I have to say with this one. It can't really go further than that. But what I can say, the personal reasons why I watch this one every Halloween, it's just one big simple fact that it's not flashy filmmaking and it's well made and contained. That's what I really appreciate it. And I feel like when we kind of have talked like off pod and on pod about haunted houses and amusement parks, horror movies set there, we need more good quality ones, right? And this one is one. It's just right there for the taking.
Did you watch Hellfest?
Yes.
Liked it less. I could tell by your face.
I liked it less than this one.
Yeah.
Even though the settings are different, I'd say. Different enough. Because obviously, like with Haunt, you have these characters that you've kind of gotten to know in the intro. They're trying to find this discreet, awesome haunted house outside of town. It's very secluded. And then you have Hellfest that's set in public. This killer is just going around using the Halloween theme in the amusement park as cover, you know? So it's interesting. Like, you kind of sparked my thinking there with both of them, kind of comparing the two, because yeah, I'd say they are like kind of those middle tier horror movies for like a general audience. This one, Haunt, would just be a little above for me personally. That's why we're listing off our favorites to put on every Halloween movie. Yeah, this just gets me in the mood. And what I mostly appreciate about this movie also is that even though I'm not familiar with any of these actors or actresses, they give great performances. So many times I could have seen this movie going Hallmark version of a haunted house show with very cheesy lines, bad acting, and subpar violent turn of what this haunted house actually is. The setup is actually believable with our characters we've been following stumbling onto this sketchy haunted house. You feel the danger throughout with the characters and what will happen next. The different sections of the haunted house, they all kind of have their different feel too, and I really like the setup. It's very, once you watch the movie, you'll understand what I'm saying with this, but it's very slapped together, and it makes it creepier when you find out more of what's going on. The masked strangers that put on the haunted house are even more interesting once they take off their masks. And before this, they're actually captivating throughout and ominous without being too forced either. Like, they barely talk or not at all. Some of them talk a little bit, but their lines are so creepy and you're like, okay, where is this going? You know, you're almost in the haunted house with the characters. You would not be able to guess the ending. Like, that's all I'll say. It really took a turn from where I thought it was going. And if you want unexpected and are craving a man-made haunted house movie that actually stands up with rewatches and keeping your attention, then this is for you. This is available to stream on Amazon Prime Video and Tubi, or you can rent on Apple TV Plus, etc. What you got next?
Okay, so the next one, it's a series and it's been a while since I watched it, so bear with me on the details. But I wanted to add the show Brand New Cherry Flavor from 2021. It's a Netflix original. It just has the vibes, so that's why it's on the list. But it follows an aspiring film, not a film, yeah. The show follows an aspiring film director named Lisa Nova, who's played by Rosa Salazar. It's in early 1990s Los Angeles, like Hollywood. And she's trying to get her short film called Lucy's Eye turned into a full-length movie, and she wants to direct it. But she comes across a guy named Lou Burke, who's Psychowitz from Victorious. He promises to, get the movie made and have her direct it, but he basically fucks her over and takes the movie and gives it to somebody else to direct. So Lisa goes and finds, like I said, this is like, well, I didn't say it, but it's like gritty Los Angeles. She hears of this lady named Boro, who's played by Catherine Keener, who's great in everything she's in.
I love Catherine.
Me too. But she goes there because she wants help to get revenge on Lou for stealing her movie, basically. So it is a revenge story mixed with like witchcraft and like just grungy. I don't know. It's a revenge story that starts spiraling in on itself, and it's kind of hard to explain this show.
Okay,
because it's
like you just have to actually experience
Sorry, that
it.
was kind of a lot of info just now, but
No.
And it has like, I don't even know what kind of genre it is because it's like a mashup of like all kind of like horror subgenres.
Okay.
Yeah. There's not much humor in it. There's some humor, but like it's not a funny show.
Gotcha. Okay, just humor sprinkled into it.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm sure there was some sort of substance use in the writing room when they were making this. And from what I remember, the plot gets a little muddy at points. However,
is that intentional?
Maybe.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah,
I do want to check this one out.
It might be, but that's not that important to me because it's so fun to watch and like it's cool to watch. Like I'm just constantly entertained.
Yeah.
That has some really scary imagery, weird trippy stuff. I don't know. I just really like it a lot. And I mean, if you like American Horror Story, I'm sure you'd like this. And there's really like Cronenberg-esque body horror too in it. Like it just has everything, honestly. And it's
Andy.
Yeah.
Andy loves Cronenberg.
Me too. But yeah, I don't know. I know that was kind of all over the place, but it's like a really fun show to watch. And it is spooky.
I had no idea that there were supernatural elements into it. Okay. It makes a lot more sense why you picked it. Awesome. Okay. That's actually interesting now that you described it too. Look at you go. You got me on Idle Hands and this.
Yay.
Oh my God. I'm excited.
Oh, and I know I mentioned it's a Netflix original, so obviously it's on Netflix. So you can watch it on there. And it's only 8 episodes. It's a limited series. So
okay, perfect.
So, yeah.
Well, that's kind of all I have time for now is limited series. I can't, with all these movies we're watching, like, it's tough. Like, my wife is begging me, like, do you want to watch this show together? I'm sorry. Spooky season's going on right now. I can't. My next one is Evil Dead 2013. This was written and directed by one of my guys, Fede Alvarez. He's one of my favorite directors, and he's honestly deepened my love for movies and has shown me how an effective horror thriller really works, which horror thrillers, anybody that knows me and my movie taste, those are really up my alley. That's a big mix of genres that I love. His work especially is right up my alley, which includes Don't Breathe and Alien Romulus.
I love Don't Breathe.
Oh man, what an amazing, and hey, why I appreciate him too is like it's original. There you go. We need more original content. And even though he took this Evil Dead that was already an existing franchise, and as well as Alien, he still adds his touch to it, which I really respect. I've really disagreed with the reviews on Alien Romulus that say it's very fan servicey. I feel like there's a good mix of both. Like, if we were to ever get a legacy sequel in this time frame that we're in right now, when we're talking about Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny and Star Wars Force Awakens and, Rise of Skywalker, all that controversy, like, this was done right. This guy did it right. The cinematographer for this is Aaron Morton, and he does a couple things we might share. Not sure. I know two of them we share, but I'm iffy on the third that he worked on. So he did Abigail,
Love.
saw it together. Some Black Mirror episodes. I didn't want to name all of them because he did do like 5 of them. And No One Will Save You.
I didn't watch that one yet.
Okay,
I've been meaning to,
the Fox
though.
Searchlight
On Hulu?
horror movie. Yeah, on Hulu. Yeah, it might be a Hulu original as well.
It is.
Yeah, I did check it out. And UFOs, they're normally not up my alley. This one, I can appreciate like what it tried to do. I just personally couldn't get into it.
Do you think I would like it? It's like home invasion. She's fighting back against the aliens, right?
Yep. Yeah,
that
honestly,
sounds right up my alley.
If
it's done well.
Give it a shot. It was also PG-13, so that might be where it loses you. I'm not sure with like how far it goes with the UFO horror of it all,
Yeah, I like PG-13 horror if it's done well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I mentioned, the Boogeyman, yeah, not a problem that it was PG-13. I felt like, yeah, like it still worked. But yeah, just with this one, I could feel it at times where I didn't want to feel it. That's just personal. I totally understand that people really loved this and it was a breath of fresh air. But anyways, yeah, he worked on those. So this cinematography done really well. Everything just matches up in this movie, and it stars Jane Levy, which we love from also Don't Breathe. Shiloh Fernandez, have not seen him in anything, but he plays Jane Levy's brother in the film. And our guy Lou Taylor Fucci from You and Spring,
and he plays Saint Jimmy in Green Day's music video Jesus of Suburbia, which is a cinematic masterpiece. It's like 11 minutes long. It's like a mini movie, and he's like a punk rocker. And it is just so good. And that was before he did any of those other movies and shows.
Okay, wow. So still kind of an acting. Yeah, still an acting credit. That's really cool when music videos are very cinematic. Like lately Sabrina Carpenter's music videos. I really hope that music director goes on, because David Fincher, one of our favorite directors, he was a music video director.
And Rob Zombie also started.
And Rob Zombie, yeah, he has a career in music. I mean, yeah, personally. So, yeah, it's just crazy. The plot of this movie is a drug addict Mia is trying to withdraw at her and her brother David's family's cabin in the middle of the woods. David and his friends accompany her at the cabin. While at the cabin, the group finds a Book of the Dead and all hell breaks loose. Personal reasons why this is one of my Halloween favorites every year. Unlike me as a kid thinking every single movie was perfect, it was mostly just the personal love, of course. Myself now views movies differently, and this one I can honestly say is perfect in my eyes. Everything down to the execution, the craft, personal passion for this film is sky high for me, and it's essential in me understanding my own personal love for movies. It does mean a lot. The first time I saw this film, I was stunned, speechless. The times after rewatching, I'm still stunned. The practical effects, the body horror, and even down to the color of blood. And yeah, Ashley, it's not CGI blood. The performances by everyone, like, I mean, I only knew two of the actors in this movie, so the others were just, they were great stand-ins too. The attention to detail and making this movie your own from Alvarez is admirable. It's special, and especially with a remake of a classic, this is one of the best third acts I have ever seen, hands down. Just shit goes batshit. Basically, I said shit twice. I just can't come up with the words for it.
Still speechless.
Yeah, I could just be silent. Yeah, that would be better. Hazardous opinion here as well. Okay, really getting into our pod title here. I personally prefer this to the original Evil Dead. I have to say it. And yes, I watched the original recently, so I can confidently say that. I know I missed the window on Evil Dead, and I really appreciate what it is, what it means to horror, and also Sam Raimi being a filmmaker, because I did grow up with Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, and I saw other Sam Raimi films before I saw his horror comedy films, which was interesting. And I even saw Drag Me to Hell before I watched his Evil Dead. But Evil Dead, I just couldn't get into it. I respect the hell out of it, though, for like them making it so cheap and them just doing everything themselves. Love that. I respect it. But the movie itself, I don't find myself loving and being passionate for.
I also couldn't get into the original Evil Dead. And then I remember me and my cousin tried to watch Evil Dead 2 one time. And that was when horror was like, people were like boycotting like theaters for gore and stuff like that. And studios didn't want to make very gory like slashers like that for a minute there.
Sure.
So
yeah.
Evil Dead 2 is very campy and funny because they wanted to market it as a comedy movie so it would get released.
Oh, okay.
So that's why that one's like such a different tone from the first one.
Gotcha.
And Evil Dead Rise was okay too, but I definitely like 2013, this one the absolute most.
Rise was good. I just wish it did more with the story it was presenting. It didn't make me feel the stuff it wanted me to feel.
Same. It just kind of did nothing.
Unfortunately, yeah. And they could have really used the apartment setting to their advantage more.
I was hoping for that.
But they didn't. Yeah. So missed opportunities, but honestly, like the gore in that one and everything, like very well done, very awesome practical effects. Like keep it coming in horror. Honestly, like I support that all the way. But yeah, I agree. 2013 blows that one out of the water, and I had high expectations, even though it wasn't being made by Alvarez. If you want to brave something really mean spirited this Halloween and be affected, trust me, this is for you. It's available to stream on Max or to rent on Amazon Prime Video or Apple TV Plus. And that's all I got for Evil Dead, and I really want to deep dive into it at some point. So that's why I'm not going to say anymore.
Sounds good.
On to Ashley.
Okay, so for my fourth pick, I am picking Grave Encounters from 2011. It was directed by the Vicious Brothers. Didn't direct anything else I recognized, and I also didn't really recognize any of the characters in the movie either. But this is a found footage one. But yeah, I like grew up watching Ghost Adventures, and I really liked it. And so when I saw the characters in this one that were blatantly making
Zach Baron.
Bagans.
Oh my God. Yep, my bad. I know exactly where I got that name from. Yep, okay.
Well, I butchered Goggins, so.
Payback.
Yeah, we're even now.
We're even.
Not really, but
no.
Mine was still worse. But when I saw the characters in Grave Encounters and saw it was like a blatant like spoof of Zach Bagans mostly.
Ghost Adventures could never.
Yeah. And I love a good spoof.
Imagine the ratings on this compared to Ghost Adventures.
I know. Is that all right ratings actually?
Which does?
Grave Encounters.
No. I mean, if this was to be
Oh.
Ghost Adventures
Yeah.
on TV, yeah. In an alternate universe.
Yeah, I'd still watch.
Yep.
Yeah, just like the way the movie starts out is like so funny, and they're like faking trying to find stuff in this asylum. But yeah, don't be fooled by the hilarious dialogue and acting in the beginning, because it actually gets so scary and has some really like scary scenes and imagery. I remember watching this in high school one time in our Lakota class, and there's one scene that stuck with me, and I hadn't seen it since. But I've been rewatching it, obviously, like within the last couple of years. I've seen it a couple times.
Wait, you watched this in a class?
Yeah.
What?
Our Lakota teacher would always like throw movies on instead of teaching us Lakota.
You're joking me.
Yeah, so. But that's how I found out this movie existed.
Why didn't I go to this high school? I could have learned more about movies. I could have...
Oh, that's true.
Oh, man. I could be somewhere right now.
Yeah.
I could be somebody.
I could be speaking a dead language. Dying language. But I just really like this one. And it's gonna be fun to watch with the group. But if you watch it by yourself, I guarantee there's gonna be scenes that will make you want to turn the lights on.
Oh, for sure.
Like for sure.
If you have a long hallway in your house, I feel bad for you, honestly. After seeing this movie.
Yeah. Even when I was rewatching it with Ryan, I still got like, I just had like an ugly feeling. Like I don't know. It really
sticks with you. Yeah. It's a very good, like, even though the CGI isn't amazing, well, they don't show it too much.
Yeah, and
to where it's effective. And
before shit starts getting crazy, the subtle stuff that they catch on camera is so real looking and just subtle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And the way the building starts interacting with them.
The building becoming a character,
yes,
I think really helps this movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like so scary.
It really throws you off along with the characters, and you're not like, oh, I know exactly where this is going. You actually don't.
Yeah, I've never seen anything really like it before.
Not really.
I mean, there's Blair Witch where they're getting circled around in the woods, but that's like just it being contained in an asylum. I really like that.
Just a little hint right now. I would enjoy this movie more than sitting and watching Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really like Blair Witch 2016, the sequel. That one's scary.
Directed by Adam Wingard?
Maybe, I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, he directs the Godzilla Kong movies now.
Okay, yeah.
VHS that we're going to be talking about. Yep. Yeah, big horror director too.
Yeah, though. This one's really funny. Starts out really funny and gets really scary. And you can rent it on Amazon, or you can watch it free with ads on Roku, Vudu, or Tubi.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, please check it out. Like, it is a Halloween essential for sure. Congrats to the Canadians. This was a Canadian production, and I think it was filmed in Canada and everything. I think that's why it wasn't very well known or widespread. It was kind of indie horror.
Yeah, it was actually.
From Canada. So, yeah, I think it, yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I think it was Canadian. Is that all you have for Grave Encounters?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. The next one I have is a little movie called As Above, So Below from 2014. This is directed by John Eric Dowdle. It's written by John Eric Dowdle and Drew Dowdle, his brother. Cinematographer is Leo Hinston. And Leo Hinston, thankfully, I did find a connection with this cinematographer. He did one of my favorite horror movies from this year already, Stop Motion. So that was really awesome to find out. I was like, yes, like this is exactly what you want to find, like connections with your favorites, right? The cast has Perdita Weeks. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I haven't seen her in anything before, but she she was good in this. And Ben Feldman, he's from Cloverfield, and also TV series. I just can't really place him right now in series, but I know he's in Cloverfield. And also Edwin Hodge. He is from the Purge franchise, Bumblebee, and the Tomorrow War. The plot is this is a found footage horror of a documentary crew's experience exploring the catacombs of Paris, trying to retrieve Flamel's Philosopher's Stone, and is loosely based on Dante's poem of the Nine Circles of Hell. Compared to many found footage films, As Above, So Below stands apart from the others for me because the beginning sequence actually draws me in and the plot doesn't take long to start. Most found footage films can start on a very slow boat ride and amplify from there, but this one has more moving parts to it and it just really hits you right away and gets you into it. Claustrophobia is a real fear for quite a bit of people, and I didn't realize it until a couple years ago, but I can't do it. This movie leaves you gasping for air. Instead of relying heavily on jump scares or gore, it also closes in on you. This is a very haunting depiction of hell, and one that really sticks with me. Honestly, if I was to picture it, it would either be VHS. One of the new ones did this really well. I think VHS 94 or 85, where these guys transport down into hell. And just like this movie, it's a found footage and it's, POV. So like just the way you can really conceal the environment by having that camera view is nice for making the movie, and you can really make it creepy and scary, and it feels like you're down in hell when they're down there. On to a hazardous opinion involving As Above, So Below. I find this a better found footage film than The Blair Witch Project. I'll say it. I find it more enjoyable. I'll admit I do have to return to The Blair Witch Project. Obviously, with my age, with this, I also miss the important time for found footage movies, and I do understand its significance, and I respect it and its impact to the horror film community and everything. I personally take to As Above, So Below more. Is that too far off to say?
No, and the imagery is like really scary, and just the fact that they're descending into hell unknowingly is so scary.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
Blair Witch has some. I think 2016 Blair Witch is way scarier than the OG Blair Witch, so I would never just watch Blair Witch for fun.
Fair, and obviously we learn from things, right? And we can improve upon them, and that's what we hope for in time, that we get better and better. I'm one of those guys that's open to a movie being better down the road instead of, no, nothing can touch the original. Absolutely not. I understand the passion for it. I understand nostalgia. I'm just more open-minded, and with technology evolving, my love for movies evolving, I just take to As Above, So Below more. It's more for me. Yeah. If you'd like a maze-like journey underground into straight-up nightmare fuel, then this one is for you. This is available to stream on Netflix, and it's also available to rent on Amazon Prime, Apple TV Plus, etc. And that's all I have for As Above, So Below.
Okay.
We're moving on to our last ones, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
So right. For my last pick, it's kind of controversial, but I'm recommending it anyways.
You're usually controversial.
True.
I said that really weird. Okay. You just keep going.
So I am picking Rob Zombie's The Munsters from 2022. And anyone who knows me knows Rob Zombie is my dad. And
spiritual dad.
Biological.
For everyone that doesn't know you, though, or do you want to mislead them?
No.
Okay, yeah, Ashlee is Rob Zombie's daughter.
He just doesn't know it yet.
Lucky him.
Hunter. But Rob Zombie obviously did House of Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, Three from Hell, the amazing Halloween 2007, and Lords of Salem. Be quiet. I almost added House of Thousand Corpses to this list, but that's pretty known. But that is also in my yearly, like, Halloween rewatch.
That's one of your essentials, like, in your life.
Anytime.
I would say.
I actually just
knowing
rewatched
you.
it again the other day.
Same here, because I wanted to try to like it.
One of my friends messaged me the other day.
Okay.
And she does not like horror stuff or anything. And she was like, guess what I watched? And I was like, what did you watch? And she was like, House of Thousand Corpses. And I was like, when and why? And she was like, at my house by myself. I was like, what?
She took a plunge into the unknown.
Yeah.
With that?
And I think she just wanted to, she knows it's my fave, so I think she just wanted to watch it to see why I loved it so much. And she said it overall was not bad. But she was like, what am I watching?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
God, I wish she would have actually, like, videoed some of her reactions. Like, for a person that doesn't... That's one to dive
I
into.
know, right? I was proud of her.
Okay. Hey, yeah.
But
me too, and I don't even know her.
Yeah. So, anyways, The Munsters definitely was not received well. Being a prequel to a lot of people's most beloved show, The Munsters. I've never seen the original Munsters, so...
I haven't seen your Rob Zombie movie or the show. So, very new to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it has like a 4.7 maybe on IMDb. Like, it has terrible reviews. But Rob Zombie grew up watching The Munsters. It's like one of his favorite shows of all time ever. And so he wanted to make this like a love letter to the show, but put his own spin on it. So, aka it being very colorful opposed to black and white. And I've never seen the original, like I said, so I can't speak on it. But what I do know is that the Munsters remake is just so fun to watch and is perfect to watch this season. I had my sisters over a couple months ago, I think. My little sister and my older sister. And they hadn't seen it before, so I was dying to show them. And they loved it. And it is now a comfort movie for them both. They watch it all the time. And yeah, it was just really special because I loved it so much, and I'm glad that they did too. And not condoning substance use or anything, but it's probably a lot more enjoyable if you have some drinks or whatever you prefer, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, just kind of chill out, be more open to it.
Yes,
Okay.
because it's such a fun watch, and it's so colorful, like I said. That's like the main thing.
Yeah.
It really just seems like, and a lot of the songs that are in there and the scenes, like a lot of the cutscenes seem like it was taken straight out of Rob Zombie music video. So it's there's just so much of him in the movie,
and it's totally you.
Yeah. And I gotta admit, Sherry Moon as Lily Munster, her voice was only mildly hard to get used to, but it grew on me quickly because I was like, oh no. But it's honestly, you forget about it. But yeah, it's such a cute love story between her and Herman and how they met. So this is before Eddie Munster. I forgot to mention also that it is rated PG. So it's good to watch with the family, with kids. There's not really any like really scary imagery that would scare anybody that I would think. Even though there is all kinds of monsters and ghouls in it, and the effects are just so good. The makeup, just honestly everything about it, I just really love. And I want to chalk up the terrible reviews on IMDb to people that are mad that it was made who love the original Monsters and review bombed it.
Yeah.
Because
kind of like what I was talking about, right? People aren't open to new. I shouldn't say that. Not everybody, but I'll say some people are open-minded.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're missing out. Yeah. I wanted to save this one though for last because it is the most Halloween vibe. Because the world that he created for this movie just like almost like transports you to like another world almost. And it's just really special to me and I just love it a lot. And I just want to save the best for last. And I really hope at least a couple people check it out and like it. But yeah, it's free on Netflix or you can rent it on Amazon.
It's not just because we're buddies, but I will check this one out for you. Even though Rob Zombie hasn't been my filmmaking guy, I'll check it out. You got me interested, especially like...
You love a good love story.
Well, yes. Yeah, exactly. So maybe that will be right up my alley. And just the different monsters and ghouls from Halloween just being in a room together, like different ones. Like, isn't there like a Frankenstein and
Herman?
Okay, so they have names. Sorry, like I said, I haven't seen the original.
Yeah, no.
So I might be sounding like an idiot right now.
There's werewolves. There's
exactly
just He like took, what's the word? He took like parts of like all kinds of different horror movies that he liked growing up, and added them into here too to help create like just the universe that they belong to.
It kind of like whenever I think of the monsters, I think of one of the first Scooby-Doo movies, like back in, oh man, might have been 80s, 90s, where the Mystery Machine Gang goes to that house with all the different monsters from Halloween, and they have kids. You remember that one?
I can't remember what it's called.
I can't either. I was talking to somebody and I'm like, wow, what a blast from the past. And like, I love that. I want to see all those monsters together. And it's just more fun that it's a kiddish thing too. Like,
that's a good point.
It's surprising that there's a Rob Zombie family friendly film, by the way.
I know.
It's just nuts to me.
I know that you didn't care for his other stuff because I'm sure probably the subject matter in his other movies probably didn't sit well. It's kind of hard to watch some of it.
It is. It's his style. He gets down into some recesses. Maybe that's not how you say that word, but down in the depths of horror.
Yeah.
In his way, for sure.
Yeah, so that's why I also think that you'll take to this one more. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it.
Perfect.
And it'll look so good with the sync lights behind the TV.
You got me.
Yeah.
You know you got me.
Yep.
I already got the Halloween themes going from the Hue scenes. Yeah, Hue sync lights, everybody. Those are amazing. We both have them. But yeah, okay. Good recommendation to end on.
Yeah.
One of your guys. All right. I will end with the Shudder original Unwelcome from 2023. This was directed by John Wright. It was written by Wright and Mark Stay. The cinematographer is Hamish Doyne Ditmas. Think I pronounced that right. The stars are Hannah John Kamen. She's from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Black Mirror episodes 15 Million Merits and Playtest. And she's also a big character on The Stranger on Netflix, that limited series. It also stars Douglas Booth and Christian Nairn. Hodor from Game of Thrones, everyone. The plot is a couple escape their urban nightmare to the tranquility of rural Ireland, only to hear stories of mysterious creatures who live in the gnarled ancient woods at the foot of their garden. As warned by their neighbors, the creatures come when called to help souls in dire need of rescue, but it's crucial to remember that there's always a dear price to pay for their aid. Thank you, Wikipedia, for that plot summary. It was really tough to kind of summarize all of it and make it make sense, like in my words. So kind of really went off of Wikipedia for that. Just wanted to set the mood for this amazing, surprising fairy tale of a movie. and this is based on a grim fairy tale, and I love those. Why I say this is an amazing and surprising fairy tale is because I've never experienced a movie like this one before personally. I've always been so fascinated with folklore, like, for instance, leprechauns, changelings, etc., and mythology, especially Greek, Roman, Japanese, and Norse. Those can all be grouped together, I suppose. I just wanted to draw attention to each. I haven't been able to find many movies involving this, or at least 50% of this mythology in a big way. This one gave me a kick in the ass to find more of these. This movie uses awesome practical effects for their little creature, and they're called red caps. And anyone can really appreciate it, and anyone can really appreciate it that cares about practical. Some of the best creatures I've ever seen in film. They're so fun and used in a spectacular way. It also features a beautiful setting, seeming like it actually is in the country, like in the Irish countryside. But it was actually filmed in London, which I found out also from Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. What a frickin' third act. It's almost perfect. It's really a roller coaster ride, just up and down. I would maybe change at least the last 8 minutes of it, but that is all. If you like horror comedies, please check this one out. It's fun and it doesn't take itself seriously. Plus, it's home invasion mixed with gremlins. This is available to stream on Shudder or AMC Plus, or you can rent it on Amazon Plus or Apple TV Plus. And that's all I got for Unwelcome.
You told me to watch this a while ago, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But, I love a good creature feature.
I know you do.
Practical effects.
Yes.
Everything that you just described. So I'm going to add that to the top of the list and watch it ASAP.
You're going to be in.
I know.
You're going to be in.
I'm excited.
I just I don't know. I haven't. Maybe there's 80s movies that I haven't checked out yet. I haven't seen Critters. Maybe that's very similar to this. I don't know. But whatever these guys did for the practical effects and just the story, I can watch over and over again for some reason. Like I said, this movie doesn't take itself seriously. I feel like some people took it too seriously. You got to appreciate the comedy. And somebody really described it as straw dogs mixed with gremlins is why I kind of had that gremlin part in there. I'm like, wow, yeah, I'm really seeing the gremlin aspect. But yeah, just grim fairy tales. We need more of that stuff, please.
How did you feel about Don't Be Afraid of the Dark?
Not my favorite, but I enjoyed it.
Same.
Yep.
I remember enjoying it. It's been too long, but
I enjoyed it. The little girl in it, she was in a lot
annoying
of movies at the
as
time. Yes.
In everything that she is in.
And I don't want to blame.
I will.
You will? Oh, God. Okay. She's also in The Second Strangers.
The Strangers Pray at Night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Terrible.
Older in there.
Yeah. Which
is weird. It throws me off.
Me too.
I'm used to seeing you as a little girl. I can't.
Yeah.
But obviously, you're going to have to take roles when you're older and if you still want to act and stuff. But yeah, that one, I liked the part about the little creatures. I liked that I liked their home down in the basement there. And I was always interested in that part. Just some of the daughter stuff with the family. It was annoying to me. I'm like, please just get on with it. But yeah, that sounded a little more mean than usually what I say about movies. Sorry, I was kind of just trying to get to the point because I feel like I've been babbling so much about these movies that we love. And so, yeah, that kind of concludes our top 10.
I want to add in one honorable mention.
Yeah, always up for honorable mentions.
It's not a
honorable mentions.
It's not a movie, but I think it's really fun around Halloween time to watch Halloween competition baking shows.
Ooh.
And there's two that I grew up watching. They're like 12 seasons deep right now on HBO, on Max or Hulu with add-ons. But Halloween Baking Championship and Halloween Wars. Those are two really good and really fun, Halloween baking competition shows.
Just to get into the festivities.
Yeah,
Everything Halloween.
and
Yeah.
they're really cool, and some of them are really gory, the stuff they make, and yeah, they're just so fun to watch. So I really recommend, like, if you just don't know what to watch, just throw that on.
Yeah, that's all, like, it can be thrown on in the background while you're baking your Halloween little sugar cookies with the ghosts on them, or the pumpkins that Brennan, I know you love those. You got them always at your house when we're watching the spooky movies. But you want to know something?
Yes.
There's going to be a Harry Potter baking competition coming to Max
I saw that.
for Halloween.
Oh.
So it'll be a lot of, like, spooky stuff still. So I think you'll like that. Nell's looking forward to it.
I definitely will. And yeah, a lot of them are on Max.
Max is just awesome.
I think it has the Food Network channel on there. That's why.
Oh, yep. I bet they
So-
partnered up or something.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So get Max if you don't have it.
Yeah, everybody, honestly, Max is one of my favorite streaming.
And they always get
Services.
new release movies.
Exactly. They have, like, all the A24 collection and a bunch of franchises that everybody loves. Warner Bros. Stuff is on there. Like, get it.
But yeah, I just had to add that in there. But I don't think I really have anything else to add.
No.
This was a really fun episode to do.
I know. Yeah. And I'll give you all the credit because you came up with this topic, and it, like, right away, it was like light bulb in my head. I'm like, of course. Yeah, it's awesome because basically what we want to do with this pod, like, one of the biggest reasons why we do this is because we want to get those, like, little known, or they are known but they're not talked about much, movies out there, you know. I feel like all those classics, like The Exorcist, or one of our all-time favorites, Beetlejuice, I could have easily added that to my list.
Same.
You know, yeah, but what else is there to say other than how it connects to me personally, or some other things that I've noticed that maybe some other people didn't see that way, or
And another, Trick or Treat. That's an obvious
Trick
one.
or Treat. That was such a tough one for both of us to leave off
I
our
know.
list. That Michael Dougherty, we love Krampus, and with Trick or Treat 2 being up in the air here in rumor mills and stuff. I don't know if that's official. I've just always been seeing stuff about it, but I really hope it's a thing with Michael Dougherty attached again, and hopefully we can cover it and then cover Trick or Treat
Yes.
too. That would be amazing in the future. But yeah, like those classics are always talked about, but yeah, we want to get recommendations and more movies out there for people. And we like to really search out movies, and it's been really rewarding. That's 10 in total for you guys for Halloween. Ashlee and I love Halloween so freaking much. Freaking bats.
I was just about to.
Freaking bats. I love Halloween. Yeah. Lastly, make sure to follow us on socials, on Instagram at Hazardous Opinions Pod. Join us on Discord and follow our individual accounts on Letterboxd. All of the links will be in the episode description for you guys. If you want to reach out to us, you can email us at hazardousopinionspod@gmail.com. Also, message us on Instagram like we mentioned last episode. Totally open. Yeah, we just want to hear you guys' feedback and be in discussion with you guys. Also, if we could have you guys follow and rate us wherever you get. Oh, I typed that wrong. And rate us wherever you get your listening today. Follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. We appreciate your support always. So thank you guys so much for listening. Really appreciate it. And happy spooky season.
Happy spooky season.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.